At 14:30 local time, deep inside Ukraine, the sound of a jet engine tears through the afternoon air. An old MiG-29, a fighter designed in the Soviet era, is now carrying weapons its creators never imagined. Strapped beneath its wings are American JDAM-ER precision bombs, jerry-rigged onto NATO racks with cables, adapters, and a generous dose of Ukrainian ingenuity. This aircraft should be a museum piece. Instead, it is about to challenge one of the deadliest air defense networks on Earth. The pilot knows the risks. He's climbing into skies patrolled by Russian radars, missiles, and fighters. Every warning light, every strange vibration reminds him this jet is old, patched, and barely holding together. But today, it carries the weight of a mission that could change the course of a battle. The orders are clear. Strike a Russian ammunition depot near Malinka. Intelligence says the depot is stacked with enough supplies to fuel a major offensive. Destroy it, and Ukrainian forces might gain weeks of breathing room. Fail, and thousands of soldiers on the ground could pay the price. The pilot throttles up, afterburners glowing bright, and the MiG roars skyward. Just minutes into the climb, the pilot's radar warning receiver comes alive. The steady warble tells him everything he needs to know. The S-400 system has him locked. The S-400, Russia's crown jewel of air defense, is watching. At this distance, one of its missiles could reach him in barely over a minute. He reacts instantly. Chaff bursts from dispensers, metallic clouds exploding behind him. He dives hard, trading altitude for speed. The MiG shudders as it slices downward, airspeed climbing past 600 knots. The S-400's radar struggles, momentarily blinded. The lock breaks, but this maneuver has a price. He's now descending into the engagement zone of another killer, the Buk M3 system. The Buk specializes in exactly this altitude band, 15 to 30,000 feet. Unlike the S-400, which needs time to calculate its intercepts, the Buk can launch in seconds. The cockpit alarms scream. Another radar is painting him. The window for survival shrinks to seconds. And yet, he cannot simply run. His bombs need time to align with GPS satellites. 15 seconds of level, steady flight. 15 seconds of flying straight, predictable and vulnerable. He grits his teeth, holds the stick steady, watches the progress bar crawl across his display. 40%, 60, 80, come on. Just as the alignment finishes, a new threat appears. 60 kilometers away, closing fast at Mach 1.4, an Su-35 patrol jet has locked onto him. This is no ordinary opponent. The Su-35 is Russia's top dogfighter, fast, agile, loaded with long-range missiles. The pilot knows the math. At this closure rate, he has less than 3 minutes before the Su-35 can fire. He banks hard, throwing his MiG into S-turns, trying to disrupt the Buk's firing solution. But every maneuver gulps fuel. The gauge already shows him burning faster than planned. If this continues, he won't even have enough fuel to make it home. The Su-35 pilot is smart. He doesn't charge recklessly. Instead, he maneuvers to herd the MiG toward the S-400 coverage, the hammer and anvil tactic. Turn away from the fighter and you fly into missiles. Evade the missiles and the fighter lines you up for a kill shot. There are no easy choices. Still, the mission cannot wait. The depot must be hit. As if the sky weren't deadly enough, the invisible war begins. Russian electronic warfare units unleash a wall of jamming across GPS frequencies. The pilot's navigation screen fuzzes with static. His JDAM bombs instantly degrade from pinpoint 5-meter accuracy to 10, maybe 15 meters. Against a hardened bunker, that margin could mean a wasted strike. And then, disaster. The makeshift NATO ejector racks carrying the bombs throw a fault code. Without a reset, the weapons won't release at all.
Resetting means shutting off his defensive suite for 30 seconds. 30 seconds of flying blind. No radar warnings, no countermeasures, while an Su-35 hunts him and SAM batteries stare upward. It's suicide. But without weapons, the mission is already lost. He begins the reset. One by one, his defensive displays blink off. For a few eternal seconds, he is invisible to himself, flying in silence, knowing every enemy sensor still sees him. Through the canopy, he spots the smoke trails. 2 Panzer missiles streak skyward. No alarms. His system is still rebooting. Instinct takes over. He yanks the stick into his gut, rolls inverted, and dives in a defensive barrel roll. 7 Gs crush him into the seat. The MiG groans, but it survives. The missiles detonate harmlessly in his chaff cloud. The reset finishes. His systems flash back online. He's alive, for now. The target area is closer now. Satellite updates confirm even more vehicles arriving at the depot. The Russians are massing for a major offensive. Destroying this stockpile could cripple 2 elite brigades. But the closer he gets, the deadlier the gauntlet becomes. The Su-35 has been patient, holding distance, waiting for the ground defenses to bleed the MiG dry. Now it closes in. His radar warning receiver blares. The Su-35 has gone from search mode to single-target track. Any second now, an R-77 missile could be launched, a weapon that can pull 40 Gs, outturning anything a human can endure. He executes a notch maneuver, turning 90 degrees to the radar beam, trying to disappear into ground clutter. It works, but only by flying directly over a Tor M2 battery lying in wait. The Tor springs to life, launching 2 missiles from below. Now he's trapped between converging fires. A fighter behind him, SAMs ahead of him, more radars lighting up with every passing second. There's only one choice left: dive for the death. He rolls inverted, pulls hard, and executes a split S, dropping from 15,000 feet to 10,000 feet in seconds. Terrain flashes beneath him. The Tor missiles struggle in the clutter. The Su-35 has to readjust. But diving costs him altitude, the very altitude his glide bombs need for maximum range. Every meter lost shortens their reach. The depot is finally within reach, 80 kilometers, close enough for the bomb's extended range. But the Su-35 makes its move. A single R-77 missile leaves its rails. The warning tone screams. Impact in less than a minute. At the same time, the Tor missile launches 2 more in staggered sequence. Break against one, and the second will catch him. Fuel is critical. Less than 2,000 kilos left, barely enough to limp home. But turning back now means the mission fails. Decision time. He pushes the throttle full forward. Afterburners devour fuel like a firestorm. The MiG surges toward the release point. Death closing in from every side. He presses the release button. Nothing. The first JDAM refuses to detach. Ejector fault again. Panic claws at him. He hammers the button. Nothing. With seconds left, he pulls the emergency handle. The mechanical linkage forces the stubborn rack open. The first bomb drops, tumbling, spinning, then catching itself as wings deploy. The second releases clean. They are free. Now it's just him against the missiles. The R-77 closes in. He throws the MiG into a brutal brake turn. His vision tunnels. The missile detonates nearby, shrapnel ripping through his tail. Hydraulics bleed. Control cables sever. The jet shudders, but holds together. The Tor missiles lose lock in the ground clutter. For the moment, he's spared. But now the depot's local defenses come alive. ZSU-23 Shilka cannons light up the sky with radar-guided fire. 4 barrels per vehicle, spewing tungsten at thousands of rounds per minute. The MiG is too damaged to climb, too low to evade. He hunches down, grits his teeth, and prays the tracers pass wide. Meanwhile, the JDAMs glide silently. Even under jamming, their internal navigation compares terrain features to stored maps. Slowly, steadily, they correct course. At 14:53, the first bomb hits. A thunderous explosion rips through the ammunition depot. Shells ignite in chain reaction. Rockets detonate in crates. Armored vehicles are tossed like toys. Seconds later, the JDAM strikes the command post. The building disappears in a blinding flash. Communication lines, planning documents, officers, all erased in an instant. The Russian brigades are thrown into chaos. Their stockpile burns. Their offensive dies before it begins. The pilot turns toward home. His MiG limps, trailing fluid. The controls fight him with every movement. Fuel shows only 400 kilos, maybe 10 minutes of flight time left. The Su-35 hesitates at the border of Ukrainian air defense coverage. It does not follow.